you later.
We are at the 163rd Philadelphia Sketch Club. It's a wonderful place to visit and to join.
The coveted gold medal, how is that decided? Or that's insider information like they would do in the trade and stocks? It's okay.
Medals they're decided on by the board of directors, people who have made a significant contribution to the Philadelphia art scene. Today's members, of course, are Cassidy, Rupinski, and Allan Edmunds, and their works will be on display here and able to be bid on later in the show.
How were they awarded? How was the decision made out of many luminaries that were preceding them?
I'm not really privy to that. It's done by the president, the treasurer, and I'm a board member, but that's done by the executive.
Okay.
Improve on my art, learn from others, and it's also a nice place just to hang out.
Yeah, I always say it's a social club. It's a place where artists can get together and talk about your everyday lives as well.
Controller, chief financial officer, I was even president of a company. I was president there for 8 years, and they sold the company. And then I went to, I kept in the financial area, but it's usually the chief financial officer. Worked a couple more places and I retired. But I put as much work in this place as I probably put in all my other jobs.
My name is Allan Edmunds. I'm one of the founding members of the Brandywine Workshop. We started in 1972. My life has been always a point where when you need something, it's there for you. You just have to know that the opportunity exists and then take advantage of it. I was going to be a math teacher, and I went to Fleischer from grade 6 to 12. Louise Clement Hoff was my teacher, painting teacher. I won an award at the Academy my junior year, and she said, Allan, what are you going to do when you graduate? I said, I'm going to take all the math I can. I want to be a math teacher. That's my goal. She said, well, you know, if you give the art a thought, you probably are good enough to go to art school and become an artist or art teacher. I said, well, I do love art. So I built a portfolio, got into Tyler. My sophomore year, I took a printmaking class with Romas Vieslas. But junior year, I went to Rome, Italy, and Romas also went to teach printmaking. So I spent a full year with him. And he was so encouraging, so supportive, that I stayed with it. I came back, finished up as a printmaking major. Very soon I got a job teaching with Prints in Progress, which was a community-based program run by the print club. And I loved it, because here I was teaching. I had fell in love with printmaking. I was a perfect match. By September, my work was hanging in the Philadelphia Museum of Art next to Robert Rauschenberg. So for self-esteem, self-confidence, it was great. About a year later, I got a job teaching at the school district. My desire to teach was also my desire to give back. I wanted to be engaged with my community. I love working with young people. We so needed institutions and we needed access to successful artists who could be role models to these kids. Like I had the benefit of Vieslas and a few other people, that I wanted to structure that. And really what you're talking about is a mentoring process that is structured, that is intentional. It's not like one person taking another person and saying, oh, I'm going to help them move along. How do you do that in a community? How do you help move a community along? And the best way to do that is to build an institution. Where a lot of artists were doing collectives and they show their work and, you know, it's all about them. I didn't want to do that. I wanted artists who were confident in their own professional success and who they were as a person, that they could give back with me. So from day one, fall 1972, when I started Brandywine, I put together these individuals. They were already college professors and already had great reputations. They supported me to do a printmaking workshop called Brandywine Graphic Workshop. And we started on Brandywine Street in Spring Garden Community. And the people that have been brought on the board have been as passionate as the artists about the mission. It's about what we can do to bring great artists and good cultural programs to the service and the exposure of these kids that nobody else is really dealing with. In printmaking, there's a lot of do. There's a need to get your hands dirty, get tired of rolling the plate or pulling the squeegee. And at the end of the day, there's evidence of what you've done. Art has always given us that. And almost instant gratification. It's a wonderful thing to leave and say, I got 2 colors, I got maybe 4 or 5 more to go. So it takes a little bit of patience, a little bit of discipline, and you see a progression. So if you want to teach kids how to make art, to give them an opportunity to come work in a printmaking setting, is to give them an opportunity to meet artists, learn some real skills that are transferable not only in the fine arts but in commercial industry, and learn process, learn standards.
I am beyond belief because, you know, you work so hard and you do all kinds of things and you just, because there's so many people and so many opportunities and when something like this comes your way, it's just gratifying to know that people do recognize you. So I'm pleased and humbled. For the younger students, we need those, not only students, but people who get out of school and want to continue on some journey and stay connected and network and kind of be in that lineage. I believe in lineage. I believe in networking and connecting and knowing your past because that propels your future.
One of the things that's interesting about you is the journey your work took, especially when you were a student at PAFA and how you took pictures of the highway. You were inspired to change your linguistic narrative in painting. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, I've always been a landscape painter. You know, I feel like painters are solitary creatures. They tend to work alone. Maybe printmakers or sculptors, I kind of identify with the idea of being in a space where I can concentrate on my own work and not have interference, and the landscape affords me that. What I also know is that I love to take parts of nature and turn them to my narrative. Scenes that were really highways, as you had mentioned. It was really a part of my experience in driving to school, and I tended to look out the window a lot. It made some people nervous who were driving with me, but I was safe. And I am appreciative of that because that is one of the things that I am so proud of, in that I want to impart my knowledge to other people so that they can do better in their work.
The Sketch Club is an amazing place because of its history and all the people who have been through here and all the amazing, really incredibly talented people who have been through here. And I think about this when I meet people here, when I see incredible artists like Art Herrick and James Toogood, and the idea that I'll fade into this place is reassuring to me. If the only thing that's remembered of me is a line in a ledger that says that I won this award on this particular day, I think I'm fine with that.
You being a literary and well-known writer, also a visual photographer, and touching on the fringes of film, what is so valuable to you receiving this type of notoriety, if it makes sense to you in that way of speaking, per se?
I spent a lot of time photographing writers who won awards and photographing them in their houses. And I asked a lot of people kind of the same question: what does it mean to win this award? And Lois McMaster-Bujold, who's a famous science fiction writer, said the first award is a validation of all of your work. And the second one proves that the first one wasn't a fluke. But after that, I think you shouldn't be able to win any awards. And I kind of like that. That the awards should be spread out amongst people who need them to be encouraged and validated. But then you also need one, to show that the first one wasn't a fluke. So this is an Icelandic rock star, whose last name I can't pronounce, his first name's Addy. But he's in a heavy metal band called Solstafur, which is Iceland's most popular heavy metal band. And I was working on a book, a history book about Icelandic sweaters and people in Iceland. And Addy has this Icelandic sweater like everybody in Iceland has one of these, and it was an amazing like time meeting people. This is a COVID nurse. I photographed a bunch of COVID nurses, ICU COVID nurse. For 3 years I photographed.
Do they correlate with the librarians when they came out when you did that? In a sense,
It's kind of the same thing. I think photography for me is like find something that's interesting and do it over and over and over again.
There's some light appetizers downstairs with tomato and fresh mozzarella with the basil.
where's your store located, Tom?
Actually, I have two. So U-Bar is located just down the street here, and Tavern on Quebec is just down the street over here. They're right on the same block. Come in and have a great time. We have a little something for everybody at the Tavern on Quebec. We have a piano bar on the second floor. We have a restaurant on the first floor and a dance club on the third floor. U-Bar is your more traditional bar where people just meet and have a good time.
Working as the gallery manager here at the Sketch Club and freelancing. My name is Josie Rowley. I love you, world.
Yeah, I was getting honored as well.
Who impacted you and what started you in this field and being the professional that you are today and this distinguished person that you are today?
It's definitely not just one person. I mean, it started probably my foundation with my mom, who was an interior designer and a gallerist in Detroit. And then Al Loving, really, I saw the fine arts on a professional level through him. Larry Walker, when I was in Georgia, the dad of Carol Walker was also another mentor of mine that really showed me art administration at a high level. So, those were probably some of the people who really were impressionable upon me in terms of going into the arts as an artist and as an arts administrator.
Our first honoree, Allan, will you please come on up?
He's a certain size. Some of our artists have big egos, so hopefully if
Hang on, wait a second. Stand right here, please support us, Allan. So on behalf of the Sketch Club, we'd like to offer you and honor you with this medal. Please accept it. Yep, stand in front.
And one thing I think is so great about Philadelphia is no matter what our background, where we come from, what our style, where we study, we're not competitive. We work to support one another when we can. So I'm very honored to receive this. Honestly, I've not had much connection to the Sketch Club. As I was saying to one of the gentlemen, my life's journey has been focused on marriage, raising a family, building Brandywine Workshop, and other things that didn't give me an opportunity to participate in other communities like I would have wanted to. We have the richness of the organizations, of which I'm so proud that Brandywine has been embraced to be a part of that community. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate an organization like this recognizing what we've done at Brandywine. Because it's not my honor. Everything I keep saying over and over again, no one person does anything. It takes a group of people. I call it collective, collaborative effort. And we can achieve things that way. So it's obvious from this organization and its history that it exemplifies that. So I thank you again for this honor.
This is someone that I really also feel very honored to be able to actually even just introduce. Kyle Cassidy is somebody that breaks the mold for what you expect from a photographer. So much more than someone who just operates a camera. He is, well, you can read about him in that book. I don't want to go on too much, but Kyle and I have known each other for quite a while, and the difference between Kyle and a lot of other people I know that are creatives is Kyle actually goes out and does it. So please come forward, we'll give you the medal, and a citizen. We say, by the power invested in me by the Philadelphia Sketch Club, Kyle Cassidy, please accept this honor. Well, there you go.
But I would see these people once a month, and it would reinvigorate me. And my favorite place in this wonderful building is the library downstairs. I'm sure it's probably a lot of people's favorite places. And looking through there and seeing the history of this organization, and I realized that at some point I'm going to fade away too. And if I fade away into a couple books in that library downstairs and a line in a ledger that Bill writes that said, Kyle Cassidy's won this award on this date, I'm okay with that. So thank you for this, and thank you for everything that this gets.
Yeah, the minute I met Jill, I just was really enthralled with everything she talked about with her experiences. And it's one of those types of things where there's a lot of artists in this room that I know the fantastic things, but they'll just walk down the street like you told me you've accomplished. When I watched the video of you that was on your website too, it was like, God, I don't want to. I get to give a medal to Jill Rupinski. This is fantastic. So without further ado, now we shall present this medal to you.
Yeah. I teach color, so it works for me. I'm embarrassed to say that I'm only getting one award tonight, but I'm totally thrilled that this is the best award that I've ever gotten. And I always looked at, read about Cecilia Bow and the medal she got, and what she did with other folks. It's such a wonderful, historic thing to do. Very few places do that, so I am honored and thrilled to have this. My career, I would say, is threefold. And just like many people in this room are artists, we probably knew we were going to be artists before we could talk. And that was my case, and I love what I'm doing. And I'm proud to have been honored, and I really am happy to be here, and I thank you so much for all of this.
Want to get a photograph of our honoree live auction of materials. Really quickly here now.
Double congratulations to you.
College where I teach. She told me that her family had a piece of art over their fireplace, and they didn't know where it came from, and eventually came down to their aunt was a classmate with someone at Moore, and she gave her a painting later on after they graduated, and she kept it. They thought it looked kind of nice over the fireplace, and they hung it up there. And it was by Alice Neal, and it was actually worth quite a bit of money. So when you are buying this artwork, you really are investing in it. And it's not just us that's going to appreciate it or look at the price, it's the people after us. So our first piece here is Addie Between. Is that it? Just Addie. Okay, well, we're going to keep things moving along. So it's going to be sold to Gail for $50. Thank you. This is another photo. Kyle, would you like to tell us a little bit about the provenance of this particular photo called Between? Very good. Thank you, Kyle, for that. That really adds a lot to the piece. So you're talking to the photographer who took the piece. You hear the story. Can I please get an opening bid of $50 for this beautiful photograph? Very moving, very moody photo. Look great in any room. We're pleased to do $50. Swing it around this way, Michael. $50 for this great photo. We've got the photographer right here. $50. We've got one bid for $50 over here. Or we're just going to go to Ann for $50. I think it's going to go to Ann for $50. Congratulations, Ann. You're the new owner of this piece. Now, Edmunds has left the building. However, his artwork has remained behind. And here's a nice piece by Allan Edmunds. Remember, Allan has, you can see the history of Allan's career. This is a beautiful piece to own by someone that you're not going to find very often for sale, offered any place. This is one of the rare opportunities to buy a piece of this size, of this quality, at a location like this. That's it. It's sold for $150. You guys get a great deal for this piece. This is a fantastic piece. So take it from somebody. Now, I'm not sure if you know that I'm an art professor. And it's actually not something I paid money for myself. I just became one, and I try to wear it as proudly as possible. But yes, I am a professor of art, so I feel like I have a good eye. And I can look at this type of piece and say, that's a damn good piece of art. And when I open up this bidding at $50 for something that's this good, $50 right there, right away. There's a gentleman, very happy man, sold at $550. Very good. Thank you so much. Oh, the knowledge pressure's on you, Kyle. Oh, suddenly it's shifted over to you. Kyle Cassidy, $400. I'm raising up my yellow, $400. It's gonna go $400. You got it. Happy man, take over the water color. Dominic Stefano. Sold for $650. You get it, sir. Very nice piece. Let's hear $50 for this piece. $50 is all you're going to need. Right now, $50. We got $50 there. Can you go to $100? Going once, $275. Going twice, $275. It is sold at $275. Beautiful piece. I hope she didn't get this one. The loop-de-hoop jewelry goes to Suzanne O'Connor. Thank you, Suzanne, for your vigorous bidding tonight. Philly's lot with the Jim Beam, Philly's flag, the Philly's Bees blanket, and the Philly's t-shirt goes to Wayne Franks. Wayne, enjoy it. Green wine and a Philly's blanket. All of your art museum tickets and 2 profit makers go to Eleanor Kingsbury. Thank you, Eleanor, for your great bid on that one. Joyce there goes to Susan Smith. Thank you, Susan. She's really going to have a good bag to carry all these things home tonight. The loop-de-hoop jewelry. Didn't we already have a loop-de-hoop? There's 2 loop-de-hoops. Well, Suzanne must really love loop-de-hoops because she's the winner of this time in loop-de-hoops.
Yes, Suzanne, go.
And this is the first one. Hardway Farm, we already went to that because Wayne Frank's got it, but Wayne isn't here. So Wayne's going to have to come up here and jump up and down excitedly at least 4 times. Now it's time for some socializing. So please enjoy yourselves. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Eileen and James Sugat. How are we doing today?
We're doing very well.
Good, thank you.
We're glad to be back.
I know why you're here, because you're an incredible artist, James.
Thank you.
Period. I was honored to record when you received your medallion.
Yes,
How's it
thank you
feel
very
being a veteran?
Well, it feels good, and I'm also here to help celebrate one of my colleagues who actually, Joe Rupinski, was a classmate, and now we teach at the Pennsylvania Academy together.
Eileen, did you meet Jill Rupinski?
I have, but I haven't seen her for many years, so I'm happy to see her again.
To be part of something that is so historic. And this is the thing, in Philadelphia we are a city of firsts. And this being the first art club in America, it's an important organization.
And I like to be here because I know so many of the artists and I can appreciate their work. When I see it hanging here, it's really nice to come and visit, see what they're doing.
Brett. It's Garth Harris. We both.
Show them off. Just bring it towards the camera. Perfect.
Yeah, like this old Certs commercials, you remember?
There you go.
Two makes it one.
I think every time I come to the sketch club, I'm going to wear this now.
Oh, I think you should.
This is Lisa.
Okay. Nice to meet Lisa and Brian. A wonderful force for the Philadelphia Sketch Club. I think.
Thank you.